Hey everybody, Sean here, one of the co-hosts for Digital Genius Radio alongside of Chris Baden. Super excited to hear today because we're going to share the top 5 resources for insider info on Facebook. Enjoy it. Welcome to Digital Genius Radio, the #1 podcast focused on guiding you to becoming a certified digital genius. We believe you can have it all by mastering social media paid advertising. We spent the last 3 years studying the most brilliant marketers today and applying their techniques. We've broken free of the 9-to-5 and successfully built a 7-figure online certification platform. From working with hundreds of clients, we found that most are overwhelmed or scared to actually dive into paid advertising. And this podcast is here to give you the cheat codes so you can flourish with your social media channels. Join us and follow along as we continue to learn, apply, and share proven strategies, as well as give you the insights on how to win online with social media paid advertising. And now, here's your hosts, Chris Baden and Sean Malone. I'm so excited this young lady is going to be out tonight to share with you some of the Facebook mastery that she knows. This girl is certified by Facebook. She's been one of the biggest influencers in our community in terms of getting people moving as fast as possible with Facebook paid advertising. I'm so excited to have her here. She's just adding value to everybody's life. Kristin, Louise, thank you so much for being here tonight. Awesome to have you back again. And I hope you win the golden belt. I don't know. It's going to be hot tonight, though. What's up with you?
I'm going to be honest. I was not expecting all of that fire. So amazing. The ladies are really taking control tonight. So I love the energy. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer because that's what I do. And I am going to try to cut myself pretty short not because I don't have things to tell you guys. First of all, I spent an hour a week for the last 3 weeks on the Facebook page with you guys. How many of you guys have watched one or more of those lives? Drop it in the chat, say live. I've spent 3 hours and that's a lot of time. So I'm going to give you guys a little glimpse into the future. Not that I have a crystal ball. If I did, I probably wouldn't be on this call. I would probably be somewhere tropical and not doing this. But I love you guys and I'm here. So I have no lottery ticket. I have no crystal ball. I always tell people I'm a marketer. I'm not a mind reader. Okay. Marketer, not a mind reader, but I have some insights, and at the end of this, I'm going to be really brief, but at the end of this, I'm going to give you guys my I wanted to do top 3, but I couldn't narrow it down, so I'm going to give you guys my top 5 sources for the inside Facebook information. Who's interested in listening for 5 minutes and getting top 5 sources for Facebook information? So let me know if you have watched live. Awesome, I see a lot of lives. If you haven't, what has been the issue? Has it been a timing issue? Are you not prioritizing that? Because obviously, people are getting some value. They've been commenting in the groups. They've been doing takeaways. Ashley had some amazing notes that she posted today, like the most beautiful set of notes I've ever seen. Go back and look at this stuff, guys, because we brought it all the way from the basics. And a lot of people think, oh, I've been doing this for a year. No offense, Kristin, but I don't really need the basics. And that's fine. But if you're messed up from the basic level, it's not going to work for you wherever you're at. You really have to start from your brand has to start from like the foundational level, and you have to rethink things. Facebook is always changing, guys. That's what my topic is about tonight. So how many of you, raise of hands or in the chat roll, give me a little hand up in the chat roll, if you have noticed your reach in your Facebook ads in the last maybe 2 weeks or your engagement on your posts dropped significantly? Anybody? I've noticed a huge change in several of my clients. And one of those changes is to do with conversion ads, and I'm going to explain a little bit as to why. So I'm seeing just a couple people. If you're not looking at these metrics like at least every other day, why are you spending money in Facebook? If you don't know if your engagement has dropped, if you don't know what your numbers are, get with it. Get into your numbers. Like dive in, become a student. I'm going to give you 5 great resources at the end of this, and I hope you'll dive in because Facebook is changing all the time. The only thing that is certain in this life is change. Facebook is definitely part of that. The algorithm literally changes like every other week in a small way, but we have some huge changes on the horizons. I don't tell you guys I don't tell you guys this to scare you. I tell it to inspire you because I want you guys to be like in control of your numbers. And when these shifts happen, I don't want you to be blindsided. Last year in like August, September, a lot of people got blindsided by some Facebook changes. So let's be proactive and let's be a great member of the community and let's change our stuff now. That way we can continue to see the results or get better results in the future, right? So first of all, relevance score is going away. So the relevance score, I don't even know. It's not, it's kind of a newer feature of Facebook. I don't know exactly how long that's been around. But the relevance score basically measures your relevancy, which you should never use that in a definition. You're like, what does relevancy mean? So it means like what's in your ad and what's on your landing page, are they similar? And can Facebook make the connection? Are there any buzzwords in your domain that Facebook should look for? Is your domain link broken? That's a major one we were talking about on my live today. If your domain link is broken, if your redirect is not working, that's one of the easiest ways to get your account disabled. Like, you can usually get it back, but that's one of the easiest ways to get your account disabled. Check your links, guys. We're running a business. I'm the intense one, okay? Nobody likes me. It's fine. We're running a business. Check your links. This is how you make money. Take it seriously, okay? So that's a big tip for me there. But relevancy score is going away, and you guys are like, oh, that's so awesome, because I hated relevancy score because I didn't ever want to think about what I was writing. No. So it's actually going to get harder. So here's what's going to happen. And maybe you're not. Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. But here's what's going to happen. 3 scores are going to take its place by the end of April. Quality rank, engagement rank, and conversion rank. So let's think about quality. Quality could actually be almost similar to relevancy. How Google is, or I'm sorry, I just said Google. I'm also a Google person, but Facebook is kind of turning into Google in a lot of ways and how they're doing these scores. Google also has a relevancy score. If you are in the display network of Google, you know that. But the quality rank is basically going to assess how many people that you've reached and how many clicks that you have, and then it's going to combine what everything was in the the relevancy score, everything that was there, it's going to be lumped into this basically, and it's going to combine that with however many people in your conversion, like your click ratio basically. Engagement, if you're running engagement, or like if it's conversion, or if it's video views, or if it's click, whatever your promotion is, it's going to take those into account and it's going to give you a lovely metric. That actually means the pressure is higher, because before it was just looking at conversion, or before it was just looking at relevancy. Now it's going to be looking at 2 to 3 things depending on how you place your ad. So one of the things I mentioned today is that Facebook, typically conversion ads can be really good, especially with people running funnels like we are. They can be great, but the reach isn't super high. So has anybody, write in the chat if you've ever done the reach objective? As you've placed an ad, you've used the reach objective. Hopefully you guys, if you haven't, you can get comfortable with that, because that's one of the objectives that's actually going to be like a rising star. If you haven't, seriously, you should do it. There's a strategy behind it. We talked about it today on the Facebook Live, so go back and rewatch today's live. It was at 1 p.m. on the DGL Facebook group. But if you are not using the reach, the reason why you should is because now there's going to be a new metric that can be seen. And drop in the chat, Messenger, raise your hand if you're on the panel. Anybody running an ad that has a Messenger button, like info, direct to Messenger, those are typically doing really well. Engagement ads and Messenger ads I'm seeing do amazing, and all the proof out there, the social proof in these different resources that I'm going to give you at the end of this points to that. So what I want to tell you about the Messenger button is, go ahead, if you don't have an ad that has the Messenger button, go ahead and get one started, because you've got about 25 days until this update happens. April 28th is what I'm kind of reading is the to-do date on this. So you've got a couple weeks to get your eggs in the basket. And I've been talking, what came first, chicken, egg, or the ad, okay? I hope that you guys have taken away from the first 3 go lives in the series that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. As much as I love Facebook, don't put them all in one basket. But when you're placing your ad, I hope you're looking at your audience first. Audience first, chicken, egg, ad. Audience comes first in that. The egg is the ad, and it comes second. Look at who you're talking to. Make sure that you're super congruent with whatever your brand is on your page. Make sure you're talking the same language as they would speak. Think about yourself. What would you like to hear? And then once you have your audience dialed in, then create your ad and place it. So not the other way around. Create an ad. Oh my gosh, who am I going to put this in front of? That is going to help your relevancy score, which is also going to help these quality rank and engagement rankings soar higher. Because guess what? If we think about our audience and then we put the content out in that order, your engagement is going to be much more natural and less forced, right? You don't have to ask, comment below. That's against Facebook policy, guys. You should never be writing comment below in those words. That should not be part of your verbiage. It should not be part of your video. You can use other things like follow my journey, for instance, but you should never be actually asking somebody that. That's something that could drop your scores very low. What happens when your scores drop low right now with relevancy, I would assume is going to flow over into these quality, engagement, and conversion ranks. What happens is they'll take away buttons from you. I saw this happen with a client of mine 3 weeks ago. He was messaging me like crazy. He said, Kristin, I have no more call to action buttons on my conversion ads. And I was like, oh, yeah, right. Okay, fun. I'll get in here. I'll show him. I'll screenshot him. I know what's up. He actually didn't have any call to action buttons in his conversion ads. And I was like, never seen this before. I'm going to have to call somebody that knows more about this than me, which basically means I got to get into the Facebook chat and beg somebody to help me. So I was like, okay, let me get in here real quick. I'm at 7 minutes, so I'm trying to hustle for you guys. So what I found out was, and I should have looked at this sooner, but what I found out was his relevancy scores were at a 2 and a 3 on the 2 ads he was running. And Facebook was like, listen, we don't want to run your shit anymore. Sorry, shouldn't have cursed, but we don't want to run your stuff anymore. It's not relevant. Okay. If your relevancy scores are below 4, you are actually in like Facebook, like, you know, there's like heaven, there's hell if you're spiritual, then there's like an in-between. And I don't know why they call that in your religion, but you're somewhere in the in-between. Okay, so sometimes they don't give you a nice little warning. Sometimes they just literally say, you know what, you can't do a conversion ad right now. All you can do is run engagement and video views. Woo, nobody wants that to happen. So when I reached out to Facebook, had my nice 2-hour chat with them because they're very helpful in the chat. It's always somebody that speaks amazing English and is super helpful and really quick to answer your question. So after that happened and I was having the best day of my life, then this poor soul was like, okay, I'm going to finally give you to a manager like you asked. And I get on the phone with the manager finally. He gives me a call back. And he explains to me that this can happen and this can happen to anybody. And he said, you're just lucky your account didn't get disabled. And I was like, oh, okay. So relevancy score is not going away. It is going away, but it's actually going to get more intense. So it's going to be layered into these 3 things. So take away from this, number 1, look at your relevancy score right now. Start doing things to build it up because as it changes, it's going to get more intense. The things that you can do is using keyword tools, seeing what trends are, making sure your ad copy is congruent with whatever funnel you're using. What I mean by that is if you've switched funnels recently, we've got some amazing new funnels that have been talked about, the business funnel, the travel funnel, things like that are being changed right now. If you haven't changed your ad, that's not a great user experience and Facebook is going to dock you for that. That's how this works. We have to be good stewards of the community like I've been talking about for a couple weeks. So the other thing is with the messenger button, like I was talking about before, holy crap, I only have 30 seconds. With the messenger button, I thought I was going to be short, but with the messenger button, we're going to have a new metric, which I'm actually really excited about. It's going to be directly connected to the pixel. You're going to have way more reporting on brand new conversations that start out of Messenger. Drop in the chat if you're running Messenger and if you have mini chat. Anybody using mini chat right now? This is going to be amazing because this is a way we can totally automate and we can look at that key metric and we can see how successful our efforts are because this is new conversations, not that person that's talked to you 4 months ago and then they're randomly hitting you up again and that is kind of messing up your metrics right now. This is brand new from an ad your pixel tracks. So this is a whole new metric and I'm super excited about it because for me and my clients, I've seen way success with using the messenger button. It's been amazing. If you can do the mini chat thing, if you can automate, I think that's the way to go in this business. That's what I'm working on myself. So those are 2 things that you can look forward to. As promised, let's see, there is a spoiler alert and maybe in a coming episode when I learn more about it, I can talk about it. This would be a while, but the spoiler alert is something that Facebook's been talking about and looks like it may be on the horizon for this summer is an erase all memory feature, like a clear your cache of Facebook. That could seriously change the game in a good and a bad way. So I did a lot of research on that today and there's no, like, this is not part of the April changes and I only had 10 minutes, which I'm definitely a minute over now. But I'll talk about that another time. But what you need to know for that is your results, export them all the time. All the time. Everything that you have, export from Facebook every 28 days. You should be in a good cycle of that. I'm not saying that your results are going to go away or any type of your advertising information would leave. But what I'm saying is, what if your ad account got disabled tomorrow and then you didn't have those features forthcoming? What would you have? You are your data. You are your email list. Export those leads out of DGL. Export that information out of Facebook. Export it regularly, guys, because if that happened and Facebook went down like it did the last week, we would all be in a world of hurt. So I put some things in protocol in my agency and I was like, hey guys, we're not doing a good job. I need to back this up to cloud, so on and so forth. So be in control of your data in case anything ever would happen. You just always want to have access to it no matter what. So that's what I want to leave you with. I am now going to drop into the chat 5 amazing resources that I check every single day, maybe not every weekend day, but during the week, I check these 5 resources and actually subscribe to their email lists. Use these 5 resources, become a student of marketing. There's nothing that makes me smarter than you. I literally sat through a proctored exam. That's it. Like, I'm not smarter at all. But like, take these 5 resources and become a student because nothing says you can't be on here presenting about the next round of Facebook updates. So that's my challenge to you guys.
Thanks for listening to Digital Genius Radio. We'd love it if you could share our podcast with 3 others that you think could get some value from it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And remember, hit that notifications button so we can alert you for each new episode that comes out. You're on your way. You've gained knowledge and you've gotten smarter. You're becoming a certified digital genius. To continue on the right path, go to challenge.digitalgeniusradio.com and prove you have what it takes. Again, that's challenge.digitalgeniusradio.com. Enter your name and email and get started becoming a master of your own destiny.